How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out me a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff, not just Hunter's Guild. We do Kaiju number 8, One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, a bunch of things. So, picking up where we left off from last chapter, Velo has finally made it to the camp fortress, the Ironworks, after 1 week of leaving the hamlet. They got to the border town, and we've made it here. This is when we meet hot-blooded Debonair, a woman that you could say won the genetic lottery in multiple different categories. Yeah, we'll just say that. Anyway, we figure out that hot-blooded Debonair knows Grimm, and Grimm tells her that she has 3 people to dump off on her. Debonair recognizes Tilty and Milty from their previous times trying to become hunters. She also meets Velo for the first time, and she's happy to have a new person, a new participant on board. So she goes over and vigorously shakes Velo's hand really fast. Velo stops for a second and his hand is stinging. And he tells us that her hands were abnormally hot. So we know that Grimm has a spell on her that keeps her tiny, and then she can use some other spell to grow big for a while. Maybe this is a type of spell that is a body manipulation that causes her blood to circulate faster, causing her to be hotter. Some wacky thing like that. Maybe it's a magical spell. Maybe it's just something to do with how well her body is trained. But anyway, moving on from there, we end up getting a ton of exposition. So we figure out another name for the Camp Fortress Ironworks is the Hunter Candidate Railed Training Facility number 21. That is a mouthful, and I'm never going to remember that. Maybe like 5 years from now, if this series keeps going that long, I might be able to remember that. Maybe that's why it's more popularly known as the Ironworks, the camp fortress. Probably a good reason for that. But anyway, this is the ship, the railway that Debonair is the conductor and the instructor of, and this is where you go to take a 3-month trip to Hunter headquarters. Making that 3-month trip is basically the entire requirement. If you can make it there, you are, well, possibly going to become a hunter. Most of the people just drop out on the 3-month trip and have to row their way back. But with that being said, those 3 months are an absolutely grueling training regimen, and that is why most people do not make it. Even people as strong as Tilty and Milty that we've seen are very skilled, haven't made it through this yet. So we can tell it's going to be a difficult 3 months. Then we get the whole crew of the Ironworks doing all the checks to make sure everything's clear so they can depart. And Debonair is sitting there, well, standing there, doing an awesome pose with the cane and the hat, and what I'm assuming is an eye patch, and the cool coat that's not actually fully on, just draped over the shoulders. You know, classic cool stuff. Gotta love it. So Debonair gives her what I assume is just normal departing speech, and they depart, take off. We finally actually get to see the Ironworks in full view, exactly what it is, and it is just this giant iron cube that we had already seen, but it is attached by a bunch of beams to one single, basically, train engine on a railway. It's kind of weird. I thought it was a boat. It's not a boat at all. It's a train with a giant box on top of it. All right, I'm down. Whatever. It's cool. We'll take it. We had a tank crab last chapter. This is fine. Anyway, we start to meet more people that are taking the exam, trying to make the trip. And the first person we meet, well, we're just going to call him Bonkers, because that's literally his last name. Bonkers. Alright, he is literally just a big, giant, meathead kind of douche. That's all he is. But something he does do is start talking crap to an old man, like, you're too old, you're not going to make it through this. And why this is important is because it kind of starts to set Velo off, and we can tell Velo didn't appreciate it very much. And Velo ends up going up and talking to the old man, saying, "Hi, my name's Velo. I don't think age matters." Turned out the werewolves had killed the old man's family, just like Velo's. So Velo's like, "Hey, I'm here for the same reason. So yeah, good on you." After this, we get the typical kind of training montage, them doing the workouts, the cleaning, doing their own cooking, all this kind of stuff. Obviously, they get very little sleep and are constantly doing physical activities. You can assume the training is extremely hard training, not just pull-ups and stuff. And the whole time, Debonair is giving the typical kind of inspirational military, like, I'm going to work you up, grunts kind of speech, saying, "I'm not your mama. I'm going to work you to the bone. If you want to leave, leave. I don't care. Take a boat, row your own way back. You're here. You're going to train like your lives depend on it. We're going to make you smarter. We're going to make you stronger. And we're going to transform you into a body of steel. Deal with it. And by the end of it, we actually do see a shot of Velo from behind, and he's starting to get a little ripped. He's getting some tone in the lats and the traps and the everythings. He's starting to get there, so he's making some progress. Granted, it's only been like a week or so, I think, since they departed, so really not that terribly long, but quick progress, to say the least. If it's a 3-month trip and we've gotten this far after like a week, make it the whole 3 months, there's going to be a lot of progress. But after this, we see him completely drained, tired, worked to the bone to where he can't even eat without kind of wanting to throw up. But he's trying to force himself to eat because, well, he needs food and energy to keep training. Debonair throws this disgusting looking bowl that is apparently 2,000 calories worth of food in front of him. So yeah, he tried to start eating, ended up throwing up. Well, before he got back to the table, he saw the old man that was there for the same reason he was, rowing a boat back home, and this started to get to him, but no, he sucked it up and he used it as more motivation to keep going, goes back, wolfs down the food, and he's going to keep on going. Even with tears in his eyes, he doesn't care. He's going to keep pushing forward. And then we get to the end of this chapter, and oh my god, this is chapter 7. This is too much. So we go back to Cinderella and the big wolf guy. I can't remember his name, but anyway, the like big alpha of the werewolves, and Cinderella. I love that now. Anyway, they're talking and they say, do you think he'll get stronger? Velo, I mean. They also say, don't get your hopes up. He's merely a stand-in. But everything's still riding on him. And you worked so hard to raise him up, didn't you, Mr. Mayor? And the mayor is there with Big Wolf Dude and Cinderella. What is going on? We thought he died. We thought he was a good guy. Is he a good guy, but he's being forced to work for them? What? Why is Velo so special? I did not expect to see Cinderella and the Big Wolf Dude so soon. I especially did not expect to see the mayor with them, and them talking to him extremely casually like this about Velo, and how this is something we could tell that something was going on, something was being planned, worked on. Like, there's a reason all of these things are happening in the way they're happening. But this was crazy. This was awesome. I absolutely cannot wait for chapter 8 now. And yeah, this was a super fun chapter. If I could give it one critique, I would say that Debonair kind of repeated herself a lot in her speeches, kind of in the departing one, and when she was giving the speech to the people about training them. It kind of repeated it a little bit too much there, and we could have gotten something a little bit different, but that's almost nitpicky when you think about how great the end of this chapter was. So yeah, this was awesome. I can't wait to figure out where this is going. I hope they just continue to drip feed us a little bit more and a little bit more as the series goes on. That would just be phenomenal, because I can't wait. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. If you did, like I said at the beginning, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.